All right, we're live. I think it's just
So,
me and you.
yeah, it's another simple programmer edition of Entreprogrammers.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe Derek is joining. I know Chuck's not joining, so yeah, I came back early from I wasn't supposed to be here. It was just going to be you.
Yeah, yeah.
Early.
I was not planning on monologuing for an hour, so.
Yeah, VidCon actually is like 14-year-old girls con. It was like a bunch of like teens and preteens mostly that were there for like, you know, I mean, it's a big like 3-day conference, and they have a bunch of like they have a creator track and stuff, but they sell these community tickets, which is just for like fanboy tickets, and so that's mostly what it ended up being.
So it's like a handful of content creators and then all their groupies, basically.
Yeah, kind of. And it's like, but a lot of the content, even the content creators were like super, super young people that like, so it was really just really weird. I showed up like on Friday night or on Wednesday night, Wednesday night. And they had like these like opening party. You know how like trafficking.
Yeah, they're serving slushies at the.
Yeah, basically.
Hello Kitty slushies.
well, they had one opening one, and then it was like I looked around, and it's like, I mean, there was kind of cool. They had a bunch of food trucks and stuff, but they had like a Ferris wheel, and there was like all these kids running around, like mostly like it looked like I was at a high school party. I'd like when it's a bunch of like 20-year-olds, I'm like, you know, people are sometimes people are like, oh, do you feel like the old guy? I'm like, I don't feel like the old guy. I feel like sometimes I feel like they're fucking older than I am with 20-year-olds, because I can mix in with a 20-year-old crowd. It's not a problem, right? You know, but at the high school party, that's freaky weird. Like you definitely look like the old pervert there. Like there's just no question about it, and it's weird, right? Like that was. It you know, and I'm like, I didn't, this isn't my fault. I came here to learn to do YouTube shit. Like I'm not the, you know, here to be a prevert. But it was really, really weird. Like
were any of the sessions any good, or did they have sessions, or?
I mean, I was only there for one day, right? It's like a 3-day or 4-day conference. So I went to a couple of sessions, and a lot of the sessions were, man, I'm going to have to turn off these lights. Alexa, turn off the office lights. It's getting hot. I'm drinking coffee and the lights are cooking me. Alexa, turn off the office lights.
Alexa's going to turn up the office lights.
Coffee lights, office lights.
She didn't find coffee lights, office. Alexa, turn off the office lights. There we go.
There you go. Okay.
Now I've got to hit like. So yeah, so a lot of the sessions that I went to were panels, and so it was like,
oh gosh,
it's like, and it seemed like it was gonna be good, but then it was like, what do like ultra liberal like 16-year-old girls have to say about building a community? That was great advice there. Just I can't even tell you how articulated the advice was. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm probably not going to gain much here. I mean, not all of it, but and then like the one session I went to that was actually pretty cool and was really interesting was a session on VR, but basically had nothing to do with YouTube, and it was just like this guy that was developing VR games talking about VR and where it was going, and he was super smart and but it had nothing to do, you know, with and all the rest of the.
He was probably talking to an empty room.
It's mostly right. It's mostly empty room. So yeah, so that was interesting, and I'm trying to think if there's any other sessions. They had like a networking. That the main reason I went to the event was to network, because I figured other kind of big YouTubers that I knew would be there. And Matt Tran was there, the Engineer Truth guy, so that was cool. So I did meet up with him. But it was just there. I was like, okay, cool, yeah. I'm gonna do some networking with high school kids. That, like, no, it's not like there weren't any adults there, but there really weren't many. So I was like, so we went, so we went to the pre-party. I went with Ben from Teslanomics. He's here in San Diego. I think you met, or we did a conference call with him, but so he's got his channel. He's got like 25,000 subscribers, and so we didn't know what we were getting into, and then and so we go to the first pre-opening thing, and then they had like this invite party that you could sign up for, that like one of the sponsors does, right? So we go to the location, and it turns out to be an indoor golf go-kart. And then it's just like it is a high school party again. And I'm like, so we're like, what the word? Wow. So we're like, okay, let's go back to the hotel.
He can buy us beer.
I know. So we're like, all right, let's go back to the hotel where the conference is, and go to the hotel bar, right? So that was a good strategy. So we went there, and then we found some adults. We found like 2 adults. Like, wow. I mean, there were a few there, but we started talking to this couple that was from Philadelphia, or from they're from Philly. So and they were pretty cool. They were just starting up a channel and stuff. And we ended up hanging out with them like most of the day yesterday and last night. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna drive home. So I drove home at like midnight last night or something. And
nice.
Then I can preserve the day, because I was thinking, like, I hate, like, if you know me in sunk cost, but I was like, I only paid $200 for the ticket. I could get like a refund on my hotel room anyway, and you know, so
did you drove up then, or did you fly?
I drove. It's only LA. It was like an hour and a half drive, or it's Anaheim, so you know, just it was Disney area, so it wasn't it wasn't bad, but. Yeah, at least I learned. There's another conference that's called Vid. I bought the videos for, remember, from last year. It's like Vid something. I thought it was the same one at first, and that's why I had to sign up for this. But this the other one is like a $750 ticket. It's like in October, but I'm probably not going to go to that either. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I didn't do the early bird tickets. That one I know is quality because I watched the videos, and it's like highly technical. Like I hate to go to, the only reason why I'm going to conferences is either one, to network, and that's probably the reason, or to get really in-depth, highly technical content that I can't find. Like the basic level stuff and you know, and the partying is not it's not, especially so I don't know, the whole VidCon thing just it was kind of interesting just to see how it was a huge conference, right? And they had like huge vendor things, and you know, I'm totally messed up my arm, the back of my I don't even know what the muscle is, like my rear delt and my lat from this punching machine.
Oh gosh.
This 6-pack abs guy, like I went to, they had like this like free arcade, and there's like it's like to test your mind, like on how hard you could punch something, and it goes I think and so the score, like the high score was like 920, and so you know, and most people were hitting it, and it was like they're hitting like 500 or 600, and I was like, who's at the 920 high score? And the guy's like, it's like the 6-pack abs guy came in here and did it. So it's like, fuck that, I'm fucking 5-minute abs, motherfucker. And so I like clocked the thing, right, and I think the first time I hit like 700, and then I'm like kind of perfecting my technique. I'm running up to it, and bam, and then I actually found that, you know what I found was kind of interesting, because I gave it a nice running and nailed that sucker, and I was hitting like high 700s, but I just stood in place and threw a hook. And the hook, man, that I hit like an 840 or 850. I think I hit like an 850. So I never did beat his damn score, but I did punch the thing like 25 times. And I don't know if I tore something, or it was instantly sore after like the 25th time. So yeah, no bruising.
Well, probably get some good torque from your whole upper body twisting around.
So someday, Mike Chan, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna work on my punching fake, arcade punching games.
All right. Well, if we ever get into a tussle, I'll just watch out for the right hook. That's when I know I'm in trouble.
So it's interesting though. It's funny, the guy that from Philly, like the guy that we're talking to, he trained Mark Divine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
For
he
YouTube
trained him
or in
combat,
SEAL?
in military
Oh,
combat.
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because he is like a military combat, like a combat and weaponized combat expert,
okay.
and hand-to-hand combat expert. And
Okay.
so me and him were geeking out about that, and it was funny because I was like, because this guy's like, serious, like, no bullshit. And so I was, because I was talking to Ben about some of the things, like, and some of the people on my YouTube channel are always like, oh yeah, you should not, like, if you shouldn't look people in the eyes, like that's like you're escalating situations, and like you got to, like, lay low and back down and stuff. And my stance has always been, no, you need to be as aggressive as possible. Like, not that you're like trying to start fights, but you need to look like you're ready to start a fight. Like, you need to have that kind of, right. And when you de-escalate a situation, it's not what you think, right? And Ben was like, no, or I don't know if Ben, but I have this argument all the time. And so I was like, I asked this guy, I was like, okay, so, because somehow the subject came up with, like, if someone has a knife, or they've got a gun on their belt, right? And that they're going to use it, like, you're kind of cornered, right? The situation, they, for whatever reason, they want to shoot you. Like, what do you do? Like, what's your response? Is it like, do you run? Do you, like, how do you de-escalate the situation? Like, what do you do? And
play dead.
Well, my response, I told him, I was like, look, like, I mean, if I know that the guy is, like, serious and means business, or, like, I mean, he's threatening with, but he doesn't pull out the gun. I was like, I got up to him and I was like, so we like did the role play, and I was like, look, I hope that you intend to kill me, because if you unbuckle that strap on your belt, or whatever, on the holster, and you attempt to pull out the gun and you don't kill me, I will kill you. And I guarantee you that I will kill you, right? So if you don't actually intend to kill me right now, then we should probably just shake hands, man, because you're a pretty fucking cool dude, and I'll buy you a drink. But if you do, I'm just warning you, just so you know, I got no problem taking you out. And I don't remember exactly, but I said along those lines, and he was like, that's exactly the response that de-escalates the situation in that case. Because he's like, if you back down in that case, if you're like, dude, it's cool, like, man, let's just, like, I didn't mean to offend you or anything, then you're projecting so much weight, you're going to encourage the same thing. Like, because if this guy's coming, like, for no reason, essentially, or like a hair trigger, like, he's looking for trouble, right? But he's like a bad guy that attacks you. What's the three things that they don't want? They don't want to be hurt. They don't want to be caught, and they want to be fast. Like, that's it. There are three fears, right? And he's like, when you do that, you're hitting one of those fears. He doesn't want to be hurt, right?
Right.
And so plenty of people will disagree with that, but I talked to it. Like I said, he trained Mark Divine on combat, so it's kind of cool it was kind of cool. Like, I was testing out some of these things, because some of this stuff, it's just my experience. So, like, and I don't have as much experience as someone like this. So, am I right in saying that? And same thing. I was like, I asked him, I was like, the eye contact thing, and he's, yeah. So I won't go like too far into it, but it was kind of cool to like test that out against someone who actually, without a preconditioning, like, this is how I would handle that. Is that right? Is that, or is that wrong? And, so there were some things that I was actually like, oh, okay, that's a, better way. I didn't even think of that, but so there you go.
Cool. Well,
what happened to you?
Like wasn't a complete waste anyway.
No, that was good. And then the other thing that I got out of it was at the expo, Canon had a booth and Rode had a booth. And so,
oh, okay.
I figured out from them, that I'm probably going to replace my camera here. I've got a EOS T5i, but I'm
Okay.
probably going to get an upgraded camera body that will do the autofocus better. And
Okay.
then I'm going to get a boom mic. There's a Rode boom mic that's like
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
$350, and I'm just going to permanently put it here, right? And then
Yeah. Yep. That's a
then
good idea.
I won't have to use the wireless or lapel mic or
Yeah.
anything, and that'll
Yep.
be better.
Nice.
So
Yeah. Yeah, it'll probably sound better too, honestly.
yeah, I think it will. I mean, lapel mics are usually pretty good, but I think considering where it's at, it'll be close enough that it'll sound good. So
Nice.
yeah, that's it. So yeah, I mean, there were some other like there was 2 more days of the conference, and there were some tracks that kind of looked interesting, but after that, I was like, why take the risk? Because they're probably not going to be that interesting. And I mostly went for the networking, and there wasn't going to be any more networking opportunity really. So, what about you? What have you been up to?
Oh my gosh. This week has been so stressful, but I'm feeling a lot better now. So so basically, yeah, we're really getting down to the wire here on the book. And the really like so I realized last week that so I realized what happened. This crept up on me. The fact that we changed the plan. We weren't originally going to sell a print book.
Right.
If you recall.
Well,
and so all of my experience, my first job, the first 5 years of my career was all managing print publications. I designed magazines, I laid out magazines and did newspaper stuff. And I've done a ton of this stuff. And I know how time consuming it is. And it takes weeks to put together. Like our lead time on a magazine was like weeks. Like we wanted to be finished like 4 to 6 weeks before the thing was supposed to be in the mail.
Yeah.
All that went out the window because I forgot I didn't realize we were doing a print book. And then we changed the plan, and I never baked that back into the timeline.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so it hit me like about a week and a half ago that like we're doing a print book, and
yeah,
that actually might have a big impact on the timeline. And sure enough, it did. So I've probably talked to, or I've probably reviewed about 60 or 70 different designers at this point. And so we finally hired somebody this week on Upwork to do the layout. And she's basically saying, yeah, I can get it done, but I'm going to be working nights and weekends, and
right.
I'm not going to, I'm moving, and my husband's going to move on the boxes. So I think it seems like we're going to be okay. So I basically just been working all week on that. That's pretty much been my main focus, has been getting going, reviewing designers, reviewing sample after crappy sample. Like it is unbelievable how many bad. Every single person on Upwork that claims to do book layout is a liar.
You know what I think it is? It's because there's so much money in the Kindle, Kindleizing your book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like they basically just sell themselves. Oh, I can, and they're not.
Yeah.
So that skill set, there's a craft to the other, and yeah.
Right. Yeah. They're like I saw at least 10 people that said they've done like several thousand Kindle books, which I can believe. I mean, there's I don't know how many. I think there's well over a million titles in the Kindle store now. So, but yeah, I was stunned how bad some of the print samples I was provided were, and I'm like, these are your portfolio pieces. These look like the one guy I hired, and he produced a few chapters for me as a sample, and it was worse than if I had just gone into Microsoft Word and just laid the thing out myself in Microsoft Word in 10 minutes. So But yeah, so the go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say Kindle like layout is more mechanical. It's like like a technical skill.
It's markup. It's HTML.
Yeah, book layout
Basically.
is an artistic skill.
Yes.
And so the like these people that think that they can do that's why you get that weird crossover, I think, because you need artists,
you're right,
designers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like generating a good Kindle book is probably 95% just getting, figuring out little technical glitches, and you can do it in Microsoft Word pretty easily. It's not really that hard, but so the designer that we hired, she has like 10 years. She worked in like an actual publishing house for like 10 years. So, so far she's been awesome so far. So I'm happy. She's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Like about 3 times more than we were planning on paying for this. But, also the book is 3 times longer than what a typical book is. So I think that's part of it. But I've been working with her and like finding out, I've been kind of curious, like what's involved from her end, and why, because we had this discussion this week about like, why is this so hard, and why does this take so long, and why should this cost $3,000?
Right.
So I've been trying to kind of figure out like what her process is in InDesign, because I've done all this work myself, basically. And like one of the things she was saying, and this makes total sense, but just one of the first steps was every single chapter needs its own set of template pages.
What? Why would that be?
For the chapters, to get the chapters, the chapter name at the top of the page, and the chapter number and everything correct.
Huh.
So yeah, and that way you can also, when you set it up that way, you can shuffle the things around, and it doesn't hose the whole book.
Right. I see. Okay. Yeah. Because at the top it has the chapter name.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So and while she was doing that, we caught like a minor layout issue, or like a chapter. So the chapters, I gave her access to that. You have that big spreadsheet with the master list of all the chapters.
Yeah.
And I gave her access to that. I'm using that as like the master index of all the files. But there was a discrepancy in how I had numbered something. And and we discovered that through the process of her going through and creating all those templates that she needs. So it would have sucked if we got to the end.
Oh yeah.
We were like, oh yeah, that's wrong.
Well, there's something to be said for, doing it right? Like, it's like, it could be done cheaper for sure, but
yes,
it could cost you more in the long run for sure. So.
Yeah. So I was really stressed out about that this week. So I don't think she's going to hear this, so I'll say it. But we hired a backup. So we actually have two people. So I hired a firm that does this for really cheap.
Yeah.
Basically, we got some. So there seems to be there's like basically 3 main groups of people. There's the Kindle monkeys, Kindle software monkeys, who can like generate your .mobi file for you and give you a horrendous looking create space file. And they're going to cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for most people it would probably be more like $200 to $500, but this is an 800-page book. So there's that crowd. They're like at the very, very low end. Then there are some vendors that do this they have a very well-defined process, and they have pretty fixed pricing. So they've like productized it.
Right. Exactly.
And they've got a team, and it's probably they probably are hiring the Kindle monkeys on the back end. And so they came in somewhere like they're usually like in the $500 to $1,000 range for us. And then there were the like actually good designers who seemed to really know what they were doing, and they were like in the $2,000 to $3,000 range for this particular project. So it's a pretty big spread. So what I did was I hired somebody from the top end, because we really want this to look great. Like we want this is our flagship. We want this to be like to pick it up and have it feel polished and feel like a really high quality book. And so I hired a designer to do that. And then we also hired one of the services as like a fallback, so that we don't, because I realized that the biggest risk to this whole project is we hit July 17th when we're supposed to start the Kindle thing, and we don't have files.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like, that is the risk in this project. And everything else is like really secondary.
Right.
So basically for about probably like $800 maybe or so, we can buy an insurance policy that we will at least have the Kindle file and a print file that will be acceptable.
Yeah. Yep.
So the company that I hired is like, it's pretty templatized. Like they'll basically use custom font for the chapter titles. It's about all they do.
Right.
And then the rest of the book is just boilerplate formatting, but it looked pretty decent. I mean, it was like if it was any other kind of book, that probably would be acceptable quality. But for this one, I think what we're getting from our designer will be what we want to go with.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I agree. It's like, it sucks to spend that much and then to like have to have a backup, but I don't know. I mean, what can you do? Like, I'm just shocked. It just surprises me that this is, because it's not, I mean, again, like as far as design skill sets and whatnot, there's a lot of labor to it, but it's the kind of thing where I feel like what you could do is like, you need someone with the aesthetic to come up with the original thing, and then like the labor could be farmed out. So yeah, I mean, there's probably some. If
we'd had more time, that would have been the thing to do. Would have been to hire a designer to do like the page templates.
Yeah,
and then hire somebody else to implement it. And I think that would have been that. I mean, if we wanted to really save money, I think we could have probably gotten it for like $1,500 total if we'd done that. But
yeah,
that would have required more time. And like probably the lower skilled person, I feel like with the designer that we have, like she's not just a designer, she's actually like she's like a book publishing industry veteran. So she knows like what can go wrong, and you know, there's a whole bunch of stuff. She's asked me some good questions and stuff already that it's like, okay, good. I won't have to worry about that. So
yeah, if I were to do it again, like to like just like think after seeing this, I would have probably said like and I don't know if this would work, but one method of attack might be to look for major book publishers and go on LinkedIn and look for book designers like that actually work for them. Because like, let's say that you're a book designer, like you do the layout and book design for a major publishing company. You're probably not getting paid much. You're probably getting paid like $50,000 a year, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's probably your salary. And so if you go and just offer them a side job, and like, you know, they're probably going to take it. And so their hourly rate is probably going to be pretty low, because that's, you know, and they're going to be the best. Like, they're going to be really good. They should be the best. So,
well, the main problem with that, I think, is it would just take a really long time, because I think she'll probably end up having at least easily 60 to 80 hours solid into this.
Yeah.
Probably more. So if you're working with somebody who only can do 10 or 15 hours a week,
oh, that's true.
That's like 8 to 10 weeks. So
yeah, I guess it depends on how much time you have too. So yeah. So at least we'll learn. It looks good though. Her work looks good. So
yeah, it's looking really good.
Yeah. So
we got So I was just pretty freaked out about that all week, and it was just like I was like a big blocker for several things, because I had to hire the person, but then I also had to go through and we had to come up with the email opt-in offers for the book, and then I had to go in and go find places to add calls to action throughout the book to get people to opt in.
Yeah.
And that was like, it was not a really big deal, but it was one, another step that I had to do before the book would actually be ready to get to the designer. And then Heather's proofreading it one more time. So
yeah. So yeah, so much work in publishing a book. It's crazy, but it's kind of funny because yes and no. Like you could just literally create a book and do it and ship it in a week, right? Mm-hmm. Like depending on the size and depending on the level of quality. Like it's like we're trying to build a premium product. Like we're engineering this from, because I was trying to explain to someone, I was like, explaining how difficult the book launch is, and they're like, is it? I had no idea. And I'm like, well, don't get me wrong. Like if you said, like, I'm sure I could write a book and publish it in like 3 weeks. Like if you just write the book for like a week, which you can do, like a 40,000 word book, edit it, just a simple edit, and then you just get it flowed to Kindle, and there's services that you can just pay to do that and have it done in a couple days.
BookBaby,
and then
BookBaby or something like that.
And then you just drop it on BookBaby and you drop it on the Kindle store. And then you just like you can create space that you could have it in Word already or Scrivener and just export it to PDF. And, there's ways to like very, very simply do that, but you're going to not have a premium thing. The launches are going to be big. I mean, what we did is we said, okay, we want a huge book. We've designed the marketing inside the book to be lead magnets, right? We've, refined the book, like gone through several passes of editing of the book, where we have a landing page, we have a trailer, we have the marketing material that we're going to be selling, like the strategy for that, like a superior design for the layout, the whole launch strategy and all of that stuff. And so that's the difference. So it's kind of funny though, because if you think about it, it's like just the fact that it could be that much of a difference. I was thinking about this for essentially what might look at the surface level as the same thing.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't know unless you're actually like looking into it. Right. So,
yeah,
but hopefully it'll be worth the return. I think it will. I think this is like worth all this extra effort. So.
Yeah, I think, well, it'll be an interesting, it'll be an interesting case study for us too, right? Like, because we really have this is probably like the most work that we've put into anything, I would say, for this. Other than actually building the audience, right?
Yeah.
So as far as like creating any kind of product, this is definitely, I think, the most work, and so we'll see if it ends up being worth it.
It's funny too. It's like a lot of the work ends up being really hiring people. Right. I mean, that's essentially 90% of the work for us is like, I mean, aside from writing the book and, that, but like at this point it becomes really hiring people, which is, if we did go down the publishing arm, like to do more public, like simple programmer press and start publishing other people's books and whatnot, we'd want to have people lined up. Like that'd be it'd be a much simpler process once you've got the system down and you've got those people.
Yeah, I'm pretty much an expert at evaluating book layout people now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But there's something to be said about that. That's the other thing. Like I didn't realize with like a traditional publisher is, I mean, they do take a big cut of the book. It's kind of ridiculous when most of the books are electronic today, but like the whole process, like they have the team to do the thing, the thing. That's the advantage that they,
if it would actually be kind of a good deal. I think if it was more of like a, I don't know, 50-50 deal, and they actually did a good job marketing it for you, like that would actually be a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, I think that traditional publishers will have to move to the model of becoming the press, the company that does this for you, that has the team, right? That you hand them the manuscript and they help you self-publish the book, and they take the royalty of 25% of your, or whatever it ends up being, or they charge you some flat fee or something, because I don't imagine that model is going to stick around forever, but who knows? It's been around for a while, I guess, but
Yeah. So yeah, so I still have to get the files to the backup layout people, which I should be able to do on Monday.
Yeah.
And then I have to. Then we're like heads down on marketing.
Yeah.
Or at least I'm heads down on marketing, and you are going to be creating all the course content that we.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
All that stuff that we decided we were going to include with the book as the bonuses.
Yeah, I got to get moving on that stuff.
Would it be worth talking to Grant and seeing if I was wondering about that. Like, so we got this guy that emailed us that basically what he does is he comes in and helps you. Like they interview you, and then they kind of basically develop the curriculum for your course, and then they help you put the slides together. So it's kind of like, it's like a done with you. So
yeah,
they're not, you're still kind of creating the content but they're interviewing you to figure out what the structure should be. And then they help you organize it. And so it's like probably 75% of the work they're able to do. And then the critical 25% you end up doing. So it's a pretty interesting, we're going to probably have to pilot that out and see if it actually works. But I was wondering, like, would that help at this point with this stuff for the book, or would it be just too much additional overhead?
I think it'd be too much at this point. Like, I mean, for some of the other stuff that we're planning on doing for some of the courses, I think that would make sense. But in this case, like, these are going to be more quick, like, not as comprehensive courses. But I mean, if it actually works out, I am interested. At first, I was like, we don't need that. But then I was thinking about, I was like, if they actually do what you just said, and they can, because like next year the goal is to get a bunch of courses done, and if they can like do a majority of the kind of grunt work for it, and then I can just be recording the course, that's the best thing. So
basically they'd be doing a lot of the work that Pluralsight did.
Well, no, Pluralsight doesn't do jack shit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were editing the videos yourself. Never mind. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right. They just have the platform.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
they're in the enviable position that's all they have to do is just be there.
Yeah. Yeah. We did pretty good with our Pluralsight promotion. Like the video came out yesterday.
Oh, it did. Can you send me a link to that? I want to do an email about it.
So yeah, because I did a dedicated video on promoting Pluralsight, and I think it's got like 2,300 views, and we've gotten probably like 7 or 8 signups from it. So
oh wow, okay, yeah, I could definitely do an email maybe on Tuesday next week.
Let me see where that is. We got to get the book trailer. That's the other thing, is I got to check on the book landing page. On the Upwork jobs on converting. I hired 2 people to convert the HTML or the Photoshop to HTML.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very easy to hire job. There's tons of people that do it. I just worry like what the level will be of the people doing it, but I tried to vet them out. Didn't have time to do a full vetting, so hopefully that works out. But yeah, we still got to get that. And then I think the book trailer is done from Rodrigo's standpoint, right? I think we can make it go live.
Yeah, I think so. He was gonna, I asked him to make a couple more tweaks on the buttons.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But other than that, I think it's ready to go.
Okay. Yeah. That'll be good to launch that out. I'm excited to get the landing page. I really want to get the landing page with the trailer up, because then we can really start promoting the book. Oh, I forgot to ask you, are we still running Facebook ads on?
I have not gone in yet and changed the ads with the cover, but yeah, we're still running the Facebook ads. I check it about once a week, and we're still right around the like $1 mark for signups. So
that's great.
I've just been kind of letting it go.
Yeah, just need to change the whatchamacallit, but
yeah.
But yeah, that'll be it'll be good to get that stuff done.
Yep. Yeah, I need to, so next week. Good grief. So I have, we have a lot. I have like a lot of stuff that's gonna like the I have a ton of. I haven't even scoped out yet all the emails and stuff I'm gonna need to write.
Yeah.
I went into the. I peeked at the probably on Monday we should go through the timeline spreadsheet that we have and actually go through it and put everything onto the Trello board that's in there, like, because there's a bunch of like tasks in there that are not really tracked anywhere else yet. But, you know, like email copy, because we're doing all these email blasts to like sitepoint.com, and we're going to do a Facebook promotion with Smashing Magazine. So we've got like all these paid. I have to come up with creative for all the paid advertising that we're doing. And then we also have to get so we have the promotions to our list and our audience, and then we also have the community, like the pre-launch team or the launch team that we need to organize, and that was supposed to happen like basically now.
Yeah.
So next week, that's probably going to be my number one. After I get the files done for the backup publisher, I'm going to switch gears onto that, because that'll be really critical, I think, to getting traction, getting the reviews we need and stuff. So
yeah, it's funny. You can see how companies become bloated, like to some degree, like because I'm just thinking, like, as you're saying all this stuff, and we're like, we have a lot of work, and we could have like 2 full-time people working on this stuff, like, and we would have them working full-time for 6 months on, just like, because there's more you could do. There's always more you could do. So
right, yeah. There's just we're gonna like basically there's gonna be just a ton of stuff that just doesn't get done that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
So,
but that's all right. That's how it is. Yeah, but yeah, we definitely need to get, at least if we can get one person eventually that can handle like some of this stuff, project management stuff we talked about before. But
yes. We also really need to get you on .NET Rocks.
Oh yeah, shoot. I wonder if my email went to spam, because it's not like those guys did not respond to me.
Can you email them from your personal address?
I did.
Oh, okay.
So I just sent one email. Maybe it looked form letterish. So
do they still use Twitter? Could you just tweet at them?
I don't know. I guess I could. Like, I hate to like email someone and then tweet them. But I'll see it. Maybe I'll just reach out again.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's not like it was yesterday. So
no, yeah, I'll put it on my calendar to like.
Yeah, because that's a big one. Like, I mean, there's probably 3 or 4 podcasts that if we could get you on, it would really make a big difference, and that's one of them.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big one. Okay, cool. Yeah, never ending. I'll be glad when this thing is done, though. I'll tell you.
Yeah. I know. Man. Me too.
Because I started writing this thing in June of last year.
I know.
So it's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a long haul for you, especially.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been so most of the projects we've done haven't really been. I haven't found them to be stressful. This one is stressful because there's a hard deadline.
Yeah.
That's to me that's actually the main thing that stresses me out. It's just like having a hard deadline where and the very real possibility of utter failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was what was getting to me this week about the book, or just getting the files produced. So
yeah. We'll get there though. It's finally it's so funny. Oh no, it's still there. Never mind. Oh wait, no, I think it might be gone. I'm checking right now. Soft.
Okay.
Because no, yep, it's gone finally. My book, the first book was available for download. I told you,
Oh,
first
yeah.
search result from some Chinese site. If you search soft skills, you write download. It was the simplest thing. Like you didn't even have to hunt. Like there's those scam ebook download sites where it like, you know, where they try to get your email address or like try to like they bait and switch you for something and you never actually get the download. And those ones aren't as dangerous because it's like most people drop off and they're like, oh, I see, I'm about to get screwed here. And but there was just the simplest one, and I was getting so pissed at Manning. It freaking pissed me off, and I was like, I sent them the thing before, like the search, and I had tried to.
Do they have to do the takedown notice?
No. I mean, I've got a right to partial rights, but I don't know, maybe legal. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna answer that question. And then I plead the fifth.
I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah. But I was like, this is hurting book sales. Like, there's no way this is not hurting book sales. There's no way.
Yeah.
Because if it's that simple, like one click in it, and they had a fast server too, this Chinese server. I was like, it's like so damn easy. Like, I mean, even I would, probably be like, oh, I'll just download this, right? Like I'd never do that anymore. Not that I like look down at people who do it, but I'm just saying, like, it was so simple that it was so simple that even someone who is conscientious, who's like, I'd pay for stuff. I don't give a shit about paying $15 for a book, or $30 or whatever. Like I have no problem doing that. But even someone of that mindset would say, wow, like I don't want to go on Amazon and check out. Like it's right there. Right? Like, it's that simple, right? So, but nothing moved on it. I hired some search services, so I don't know if I got it taken down or if they did finally after I kept on bugging them. But if you look at the book sales today, they're up, and they're up a lot. And so because I was like, I know, I mean, in the back of my head, I'm like, I know why this book is nosediving in sales, right? Because I'm still getting tons of people saying they're reading the book, right? We're still seeing the same email sign up, right? So it's like, it's just that they're getting it for fucking free. So yeah, so I'm glad to have that resolved, but it's, man, copyright is.
I gotta take a look at the book sales now real quick.
Yeah. If you look at the charts, like on Amazon, it's up there. It's like, it's like 21,000 overall in all of Amazon, which was pretty good now, because it was dropping down to the 100. And then if you look at the audio version, it's like 18. And even the audio version has been doing pretty well, like just in general. But even just being able to get the digital version like that, it's going to hurt the audio version for sure, because so
right. So the one thing with the bounce back, we had talked about that idea of having like the I don't know if we talked about it on the show or not, but about having how you can put like, hey, get the audio version of this book for free since you bought the Kindle version, and you put it at the beginning of the book so the people go to your site and sign up from the preview.
Right.
Well, actually, the way that we have the call to action for the toolkit that we're going to create, it should be in that preview. So
interesting.
Yeah, so we should be able to get signups from the people who download the preview, even if they don't buy.
So we're letting the world know publicly now that they can just grab the $130 toolkit for free.
Yes. It will be. It's free. It's free in the sense that it will only cost you your soul.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Just your soul. So. Yeah, it's funny though. It's like we have gotten to this point now. There's just like there's so many things going on, because it's also the book launch would be simpler if we didn't have a whole bunch of other stuff that just and we did a really good job of knocking stuff off our plates. Right?
Yeah,
we're saying no to everything basically, but there's still there's stuff you can't say no to, and there's ongoing stuff, and there's just the operations and just so there's just always stuff like. Yeah, I'm gonna try and start moving again. I started doing this and I was having a lot of success with it. That's how I got through the editing. Otherwise, we'd be really screwed. But I'm gonna make a much more focused effort to basically like I'm finding what's working best for me, and what I have to do with that is like it's that Parkinson's law, but it's like I maybe I'll make a new law. It's John's law of whatever, which is like Parkinson's law, except that it's like whatever overhead and maintenance tasks in a company that will expand to fill every possible crevice you give it. Right. So
every waking moment. Yeah.
Yeah. So like my protocol now has to be like, get up, don't get on Slack. Like, get as soon as, and then the first thing I need to do, no email, nothing, just get like some big rock, like thing that is not maintenance, right? That is some kind of project moving forward work done for like 2 hours or so, and then go and hit the other stuff. But because if I don't do that, I spend all day. I mean, like today, like after we're done with this call, I've got some stuff I got to go in the afternoon, but I'm basically going to be basically spending the entire day doing catch-up stuff, like maintenance type of stuff. And I probably still won't be done. I'll probably be doing that on Saturday too. So I could fill up I could fill up the whole weekend doing it. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's fun too because I get a 4-hour head start or a 3-hour head start on you, right? So I get in, get working on something, and then I can pile up half a dozen to-dos in John's Slack inbox before he's even awake. So,
but yeah, we'll have to figure out too. I think that what we'll end up doing, like in my mind, like to optimize. Well, we've got like Rodrigo's going to have an assistant pretty soon, and that's going to be helpful because he'll have someone that's a low hourly rate that he can assign 10 hours a week worth of work, and that person could eventually become full-time and help as well. And then I would like at some point, like we got to get our revenue up high enough, but I would really benefit from having just a personal assistant that's just like just does nothing but like manages my schedule and handles all my email and like personal and business email, and is able to like, just be able to answer most of the stuff and like ask me just a few questions to, and just understands the thinking. I think that would be something that would benefit me a lot. Yeah. And then we could probably use one more, like a project manager person.
Either that or, I mean, I think the next step for me will be finding somebody as good as Aaron.
Yeah.
If I could just find, it's just maddening because we already have Aaron. I know, but
he's going back to school, right? When's he? But he just started, so he's doing a 4-year degree. So
he's got at least 3 more years. So, but yeah, so
if we can have him part-time, even 10 hours a week, though, that would be helpful. Like, what we need to do is like get some kind of firm agreement.
He wanted, he was really, I trust him when he put in his best effort, and he really wasn't able to give much time. So he basically we were the only like side thing he was doing this year.
Yeah.
And he was able to get a couple of projects done, but it got to the point where he was just like, I tried to give him something that was like, I wanted him to go through all the emails in Drip and like fix the UTM parameters. And he was just like, I'm not gonna be able to get this done in any kind of reasonable time frame. So I was like, okay, let me know. So yeah, but I need to find somebody like him that I can get for 10 to 20 hours a week at least. I could definitely, there's so much I could do with that.
Yeah. Well, there's more fish in the sea. I mean, that's one thing. It's like, he's not a unique butterfly.
You have to throw a whole bunch of them back.
Yeah.
It's not, it's doable, but it's just going to be a pain and time consuming is all.
Yeah, but building a team is like that's you getting the right people on the bus. We've talked about this before. Like that's like it's key. I mean, and we've got such a solid team. I mean, like right now, like if you like every single person on our team is a fucking A+ player, right? Obviously we're A+ players, but but Rodrigo is like
especially if we get to rate ourselves, right?
Yeah. And Elisa's team with the blog, like, I mean, you just really can't get better than, they're so good. So, and you know that we do have Aaron for what we can get him for, but we'll just, you know, that's it. We once we get those people, then you know, then it just takes how long it takes. That, I guess that's what I'm saying is that. But once you have them, then it really it makes the difference.
Yep.
You know, rather than just getting someone in there that can kind of do the job. So
yeah, I'll probably have to go through 10 to 20 people to find somebody like, not like post 10 to 20 jobs, hire 10 to 20 people for small projects before I find somebody as good as Aaron.
I did find someone, I think, for Rodrigo's assistant who may be better than Rodrigo at doing thumbnails. Like, I think Rodrigo was, you saw the ones that were in there. Like,
yeah,
I mean, Rodrigo's awesome at it, but I'm sure Rodrigo would be happy to have someone, so he doesn't have to do that. He can focus on the video editing stuff.
That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So he'll do they would do the thumbnails and the blog post cards and everything. Nice.
Yeah. So, or I think they do, I don't know if they'll do the thumbnails for the videos. They'll do them for the blog posts like that.
Okay.
And they'll be uploading podcasts and all that stuff and editing the ads into there and whatnot. So, yeah. So, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I guess we should probably wrap it up. We'll have to talk about, I have no idea what like our sponsorship is looking at like now.
For Simple Programmer?
Like how many? Yeah. we'll have to talk about that on Monday, maybe.
Yeah.
I was just trying to like get my mind around like where are we at, like sitting at for monthly sponsorship dollars at this point. But
yeah, I don't know. I've been too focused on the sponsorship is going to be my big focus, I think, after the book launch. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because if you can get that nailed down and we've got that running. I talked to some people. I did talk to some people at the YouTube, like this guy that actually worked for an MCN, asking about like whether it makes sense to do an MCN. That's a multi-channel network. Like they always send us that BBTV and whatever. I've sent you the things where they try to get you to sign up and then they take all your ad revenue.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. So he was saying like they could be like we would be able to get super leverage on any MCN because we'd be bringing a huge amount to the table with the views. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. He would talk. It was kind of funny because I felt a lot better. He's like, yeah, they can like sometimes an MCN can help you. Like if you're getting like a CPM of like $3 on your AdSense on your YouTube videos, like they might be able to get you like 7 or 8. And I was like, so if I'm getting 12, is that good? He's like, that's really good. Like, okay, well, we're doing pretty damn good.
Nice.
So that kind of answer that, and then I was like, oh, and then we've got other sponsors that we get a few $1,000s a month to do like 15-second clips or 20-second clips, and he's like, yeah, you probably wouldn't benefit from an MCN no matter what. Then like, I don't think they're gonna have anything to offer you. So
okay, well that's good to know.
Yeah. All right. Some thoughts.
I think mine is the kind of like, if you have something critical to a project, get redundancy on it. Like you hired two designer or two different people to do the HTML for the landing page.
Yeah. Right.
And I think this is very cheap insurance for what we're getting for the book. I'm going to sleep a lot better for the next couple weeks knowing that we've got a fallback on that. So like find that critical failure point and then like buy an insurance policy for it if you can.
Yeah. Trying to think what I'd say. I think mine will be, I might have said this before as a thought, but it's still a good thought to have, which is like sunk costs, like be willing to like essentially if the movie sucks, I don't care that you paid $15 for a ticket. Get the fuck out of there as soon as you figure out that the movie sucks, right? If you're at a conference and it doesn't make sense, go home. right? Like, who cares? Like, you know, if you, and I did this with that trip to Denver. It was like, I was supposed to go for a week, but it's going to rain all week. So I'm like, well, I'm going to just lose the $800 rather than be miserable. Right. And like, right. So, and we did it kind of with the book launch and with the, like, or more so we were willing to do it with Native Commerce, because it wasn't even that they're, and in both of those cases, it wasn't even that they're assholes or that they were crappy. It was just that we weren't getting what we needed from them. Right. And we realized it wasn't going to work out. So we're willing to cut the loss and willing to lose the entire, 18 grand in one case to not, it's like, because you can lose the 18 grand and then lose a whole bunch of time and screw other things up. Like, just
right.
Once you know that the shit is done, it's done, and be willing to walk away from it. Not just because just because you paid something doesn't mean anything, so
gnaw that mangled limb off and leave it in the bear trap.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm pretty good at doing that. Like, I have that mindset, maybe from playing poker and trading stocks and doing real estate investment for a long time. But I think that's, so many people don't have that though, and it screws them up so bad. Like, chasing fixed cost, or like, bad money, throwing good money after bad money, but and not just good money, but time. Time to me is more valuable than anything else. So that's my lesson, my thought. Yeah. All right. Maybe we will have someone else. Otherwise, we're just going to retitle this as Simple Programmer Podcast, and the Simple Programmer Podcast 2 or whatever.
The Simple Programmer Podcast After Dark, like behind the scenes.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
All righty. See ya. Yeah.